every single dream. It lays on down at your feet. Every moment of my wandering never changes what you see. I'm trying to win this war, I confess. My hands are weary, I need your rest. Mighty warrior, king of the fall. No matter what I face, you're by my side. When you don't move the mountains, I'm needing you to move. When you don't part the waters, I wish I could walk through. When you don't give out the answers, as I cry out to you, I will trust in you. Well, welcome to my testimony and story of grace and more. This is my testimony. I'm Julie Lynn Peterson. I became a Christian by the age of 6. My parents and I don't know exactly when I first became a Christian. We just know how old I was when I was for sure a Christian. You could call it a quiet conversion of the heart. I had a solid, firm Christian faith during my childhood. Then in 6th grade, everything changed. I was autistic and developmentally delayed. And my parents didn't know any better or about the Bridges special needs ministry at church, so they put me in the mainstream neurotypical setting at church, instead of in the Bridges special needs ministry as a student or helper. For a while, I went through a dry spell when I wasn't sure I was even a Christian. I read a Christian magazine for Campus Crusade for Christ, or Crew, as I was questioning and searching during the dry spell. Asked the question, "Are you a Christian?" Which directly addressed my questioning or thinking or wondering, am I a Christian? The magazine nourished me, it could say sustained me, until I could have my breakthrough or watershed moment on November 8th. Looking back at the dry spell and feeling distant from God time, at one point I thought I had turned my back and walked away from God, but I never did. On November 2nd, 2008, when I was in 8th grade, everything changed for the first time. God, Yahweh, Jesus spoke to me personally through a friend saying, "I love you. I died for you. Why don't you love me?" Something in me snapped. I said, "Jesus, you're right." And I came running back into his arms. It's the best decision I ever made in my whole entire life, forever. And I realized even when I felt distant from God and could kick myself to death for it, he was still there waiting in the shadows for me. He broke apart the lies, and he still does. My life was amazing after that. Immediately after I recommitted my life to Christ or came back to Christ, I sang the songs on Christian song sheet over and over again. The one we provided to the pilots in training at the Atwater base. When Surge JU, my family were doing ministry too. I think I prayed 3 times a day in 8th grade, or we did a 3-part devotional in high school during all the 3 times of day as required. And the devotional is good intimacy builder with Christ. And I'm not so sure about if it's a good spiritual warfare protection. On the other hand, I went through some dark times with troubled thoughts and wasn't nice to people. But now, because of Stephen's breaking enemy strongholds workshop, I am a much better person. Yay! I am excited about spiritual warfare and people, and the Lord has blessed my personal life, including through singing, my favorite pastime, among other things, like being about people, being nice to people. Over the summer, I discovered my spiritual gifts, and it's been one big Hallmark movie during these warm and cold months, with many chapters, scenes, and characters. And it hasn't always been easy. And appreciate Brandon, dear brother Brandon, for like listening and being a good buddy when doing frustrations and happy times with a past crush. And some Christian songs that illustrate or tell my testimony are All This Time by Katy Nichole, God is in the Story by Katy Nichole, and the songs that tell or trust the dry spell part of my story are Trust in You, and Maybe Rescue by Lauren Daigle, and When She Cries by Katy Nichole. But the first two songs on my list address the dry spell, and the last three songs address the after I recommitted my life to Christ part of my story. To make it short, all these songs are some of the ones that address all parts of my story, or my whole story, more or less, close enough. Through All of It by Colton Dixon also illustrates my testimony, plus one more song. I've been through happy, loving, and positive times, and bad, hard, really hard, or dark times, besides times of hurt, like recently. And thank you to Brandon and Cheyenne, the transfer, Pastor David and Christine, and God for their help. And now get to hear two testimony songs like All the Way Through, like God's in the Story by Katy Nichole, and then All This Time by Katy Nichole. You can really get into Christian contemporary music because I'm Christian contemporary singer soprano.
There's 20 pages in this book, words that tell me I'm no good, chapters define me for song, lands of grace and endless love, dusted off and picked me up, told my heart that hope is never gone. God is in this story. God is in details. Even the broken parts, He holds my heart. He never fails. I'm at my weakest. I will trust in Jesus, always in the highs and lows. The one who goes before me. God's in this story. Such a storm you're walking through, feels like it's too much, and you wonder if He even cares at all. Hold on tight to what you know. He promised He won't let you go. The song of healing was written in His scars. God is in this story. God is in the details, even the broken parts. He holds my heart. He never fails. When I'm my weakest, I will trust in Jesus, always in the highs and lows. The one who goes before me. God is in His story. Dreams like addiction, dreams like disease. He's the one who frees the prisoner. He's the healer of all things. If it means like devotion, if it means broken hope, He's the one who holds your sorrow. He'll leave you alone. God is in the story. God is in the details. Even in the broken parts, He holds my heart. He never fails. When I'm my weakest, I will trust in Jesus, always in the highs and lows. The one who goes before me, always in the highs and lows. The one who goes before me. God's in this story. You're in this story. God is in my story. Right here with the story. I remember the moment. I remember the pain. I was only a girl, but I grew up that day. Tears are falling. I know that you saw me. me, hiding near my bedroom, so alone. I was doing best, trying to be strong. No one to turn to. God, that once I met you, all this time, found a first year guide till today's sunrise, and every single moment between you were there. You were always there. It was you and I. You've been walking with me all this time. You've been walking with me all this time. Ever since that day, it's been clear to me that no matter what comes, you will never leave. I know that you're for me. You're restoring every heartache, every failure, every broken dream. You're the God who sees, God who rescued me. This is my story. This is my story. All this time from the first year night until today's sunrise, and every single moment between you and there, you're always there. It was you and I. You were with me all this time. You've been walking with me all this time. And you ask me, I don't know what I believe. I'm not deceiving. And I saw the proof I need. For your love, for your grace, you stole my heart that day. You walking with me all this time.